Howdy, I'm Clay Kalmbach from Bear Builds, and today I'm going to show you how I made this candle holder using scrap hardwood. I'm starting this build with the majority of my hardwood scraps, which are walnut, maple, a bunch of random stuff, oak, and purple heart. The majority of the pieces of wood are 3/4 or 7/8 inch thick, so what I'll go ahead and do is throw them through my planer, get them to a more uniform thickness. After running the wood through the planer, I moved over to my table saw to cut them down to 5/8 inch wide strips. Alright, so while I'm cutting up this lumber, let me go ahead and explain to you what the dimensions are going to look like. I set up a stop block for the miter saw so I could get uniform 1 3/4 inch cuts. The angle on the miter saw is set to 36 degrees so I can make a bunch of little trapezoids that'll form a decagon when assembled. This was a slow process because I had to wait for the blade to stop and then flip over the strip of wood to make a cut on the other side. All in all, I ended up making just over 450 pieces. Here I'm using Type-On 1 wood glue to adhere the pieces together, and then I'm using a hose clamp to clamp them together. I pushed the pieces against the surface of my workbench to make sure that none of them were jutting out. While my glue ups dried, I marked out a template so I could round out the inside of the rings to be able to hold the candle. And I apologize for the camera quality, but here I'm using my template and a flush trim bit to round out the inside of the rings. My flush trim bit wasn't as tall as the wood itself, so I had to make multiple rounds and it took quite a while. I designed this candle for the 3-wick candle from Bath & Body Works, so after rounding out the inside, I made sure that it would fit. So I finished routing out a spot in the middle of these rings for the candle to sit comfortably. So now all that there's left to do is glue these up and then add finish, and the project is done. I made sure the candle fit, and then I used my good old-fashioned concrete dumbbell clamp to make sure there were no gaps in between the layers while the glue dried for an hour. So I've come to the last step in the process of making this candle holder, which is adding finish. So I decided to use Maker Brand's Simple Finish, which is an oil and wax mix. So it'll leave a slight hardened coat on the outside, which will protect it from just about anything. I used this finish on my maple desk a few weeks ago, and I'm really glad how it turned out. So I'm glad I get to use it again. So that wraps up today's video. I still have plenty of stickers, so if you're looking to get one, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or any of the social media platforms I will have linked down below. I'd like to thank y'all for watching my video, and please be sure to stick around for more content.